Hello. Welcome in. I'm about to make some dinner and I'm home alone, so I'm gonna cook while I'm hanging out. Hey, cat. Which I haven't done in a little while, and I haven't done that much in my new smaller kitchen. Hi, Leanna. How's it going? My savior. Oh no, what's going on? I'm gonna be making hot German potato salad because I had potatoes and I had parsley, and I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna make. I ate that all the time when I was pregnant because I just wanted potatoes and I wanted vinegar. So I made this a lot, but I haven't made it in years. And yeah, that's what I had. So that's what I'm gonna make. And I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. Just see who's around, see if anyone wants to talk about anything, see if anyone has any questions. I have some things on my mind. Well, not really, but some things that I haven't talked about on here that have come up. Usually there are things that come up like on the socials, and then I come in and like hash them out with people. That sounded weird. But yeah, for now, I'm just making why like nobody wants to peel a tiny potato. It's not good. It's not good. I got bigger potatoes because I didn't have enough, but I have to use these first because I don't like to waste food. I will tell you this. Ever since I moved like out of living with my son's dad, I always we sort of shared food expenses. But I would cook for him because if I'm cooking for me, I'm not going to not share with you. So I'm still so used to cooking for two people, even though I haven't been like in a relationship for so long. And now that I live alone, I'm having to get used to like how much food I actually need and how much is too much and blah, blah, blah. So it has been interesting to say the least. I've already wasted some food, which makes me sad because I do not like to waste food. But you know what? We're just doing the best we can. How's it going, Leanna? We're decorating the Christmas tree, and one person has stormed off and locked themselves in a room, and another person is crying. There's only 4 of us here. 2 down. 2 to go. Hi from New Zealand. Welcome in. Hi from Germany. Welcome in. Love that window. Thank you. I just put those lights up. I got 2 strands of them, and when I added the second one, it was way too long, and I kind of didn't like it. But that one's really short. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's just like strewn across there. We'll pretend like I did that on purpose. You look so nice. Oh, thanks. I don't know. My more leftovers for you though. Yeah, for sure. And I've done really great with that because you know what job I have, Leanna. And when I go to work, I work 12 hours. So I always bring myself a lunch and a dinner. So when I cook, I do make a lot of stuff. And I'll make like enough to eat now, and then I'll pack up 2 lunches. Hopefully there's not too much more because by that time I'm like over it. But sometimes I had food made. I made like a wild rice mushroom soup the other day, and I ended up wasting like half of it because I didn't end up going to work, and I had the food all packed, and then I just like didn't really need it, and I just wasted it. I was kind of bummed when I threw it away, but by the time I like could have eaten it, I was like, I ain't eating this. So wash some red potatoes and cut. Oh, they're leaving the skin on? Oh, yes, they're leaving the skin on. That just changed my whole entire night. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. My half-brother and I are the only ones left standing. 100% the reason I don't like the holidays. Drama. Yeah, I feel you. A lot of people don't like the holidays. A lot of people are just gritting their teeth and trying to get through this time because it can be very difficult. If you are around toxic or, unhealthy people or abusive people, you are not having a good time. And it kind of sucks when you're a little bit trapped with them. Okay, we need to adjust because I can't really cut like this. I don't have enough counter space here. It's not easy to I have that on the stovetop. It's not easy to cook and go live on this in this space, but I like this space. I'm a lot happier here, so we are just gonna have to deal with it. The shift from 4 to 3 in my house has been tricky too, so I get it. Do you like make meals ahead of time so you have food to eat, or do you like go on breaks and like try to scrounge around for something to eat? Like, what do you do with that? I find that I have a hard time if the food isn't made ahead because I do have ADHD, and I like if I have only like a couple 15-20 minute break or something, depends on the day, right? I'm not likely to come out here and make myself like an actual healthy meal that's going to get me through the rest of the day. So I do try to, like, if I'm just off work and I'm home with my kiddo, then like we're good. I'll figure something out. But if I'm working and it's a busy day, gotta have something ahead of time. And also, I just like to save money because like if you you work from home, that's one thing because then you're like, oh, what food do we have? But if you are like out on the road, out on the streets, you're likely to just grab something, and that's not really what I want to spend my money on. Even though eating at home is really expensive too. Everything's expensive these days. And I don't like it. I will say this, I am very happy that I don't have to peel these potatoes. I do have to make bacon though because I do like my German potato salad with bacon. And I don't like cooking bacon. I do not like it at all. These are also the wrong color. Usually I make red potatoes, but that's okay. We're gonna make it. So while we're here, if you're popping in here, like right now, I just am talking about food. If you're new to my lives, I usually do hang out and just chat for a little while. And like we can always circle back to just chatting, but you can ask me anything at any time. It doesn't have to be abuse related. Usually we do end up talking about abuse. Usually what happens is we start off really slow and chill, and then a couple people come in who want to talk about abuse, and we just go wild, and we end up getting into like some really good conversations. But I'm also happy to just talk about whatever because I like that it gives you all the chance to sort of get to know me as a person versus like, I don't know, according to some people who look at my profile and come on here and they're like, all you talk about is abuse. And I'm like, no, I really don't talk about it very often. I'm just making content and it comes from here and that's it, whatever. But that way, other things about me and that there is a lot more to me than just abuse. Obviously, that's what I come to these accounts for, but yeah. All I know is you posted a video that put me in all my feels, and now I'm here to watch you cook. That's right. Love your sweater. Thank you. It's from REI. I don't usually buy clothes new. I am very much a thrifter, but I fell in love with this one. I was like, I had to get it. But it was on sale, which gotta love a good sale. Toss your potatoes in a pot of cold water. Bring to a boil. Add plenty of salt and simmer until tender. Am I reading this out loud so that if I forget what I'm doing, you can remind me? Absolutely. Just kidding. But, who knows? It might help. I got extra potatoes because I didn't think I had enough. I think I might have enough. I don't know. Welcome to the Lindsay Goodman Emotional Support Cooking Show. That's right, because when I do cook on here, it's kind of a roller coaster. We talk about cooking. We talk about random things. You see my ADHD in full swing, and we talk about abuse, and we support each other through it. That's what we do. I do like cooking on here. At first I felt weird about it, and I was like, I don't know. I think because I have like YouTube and Facebook on too, and I'm like, this is just really just like a TikTok vibe to be like hanging out cooking while you're on live. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of like this because it makes me able to focus more, and it keeps me in the kitchen because usually, my kid's not here, so it is easier for me to cook and like not leave the kitchen. But if I like step out of this room, I will delay my cooking by like 10 to 15 minutes because my brain is very special. Ashley sign support. I love it. That interpreter brain, always on. That is a very green potato. I don't think you're supposed to eat green potatoes. Are these all green? Is this whole bag going to be green? This whole bag's going to be green. Well, that's $5 down the drain. A little green potato never hurt no one unless you throw it at someone. It says right here, to be safe, it is best not to eat the green part of tubers because they're very high in solanine, which is harmful if eaten in large quantities, which, like, you do not need to discard the green potato. Just peel the skin, shoots, and any other green color. All right, we're going to have a 1/2 inch of potato. This whole damn potato is green. This is a green potato. Oh, there we go. I'm not a scientist for a reason. I only know things like that because my mom is very... Oh, sorry, Pip. My mom is very health conscious, and she has a lot of free time. Like, she works and, you know, helps. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Oh, damn it. Mm-mm. I need a minute. There's a little thing on the burner, and it smells really bad, and I'm not gonna... What is that? It's gonna be fun to get out. Stoves these days. But yeah, my mom she knows a lot about, like, food and what's okay to eat and what we should, like, steer away from. And she tells me a lot of that stuff. And it's stored away in my head. It's in my brain. So I just Googled it to be sure, but I was like, I know my mom once told me not to eat green potatoes, or, like, at least not to eat very much of a green potato. I know, because she would always get really upset. Like, we would get potatoes. She grows her own potatoes now, but, like, we would buy potatoes and we'd come home and she'd be like, these are all green. And she would just throw them away. And my mom, like, doesn't have that much money to spare. And she would just throw them away. So I'm not going to eat. I am wasting a lot of food, but, like, thanks, grocery store, for just having green potatoes. Can you guys still hear me? I'm sorry. I don't have enough space now to cut facing you, but good to see you live again. Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm not a scientist for a reason. I think I already read that. Well, what are you cooking? I'm making hot German potato salad, or at least I think I am. I'm trying to. And this is where I don't know how many more potatoes to add, because, like, what's the right amount for me to have a couple little meals versus, like, let's be honest, I'm not going to waste it. It's hot German potato salad. There are certain things that it doesn't matter how much of it I make, I'm going to eat all of it. I'll eat it for breakfast. I don't care. I really like, this is a recipe that I really like. My first thought when you talked about planning meals, I thought OCD versus ADHD. I do have both. Oh, wow. I feel like these planning things are a result of abuse because you need to be prepared for anything. Currently in a state of depression and barely eating. I know fast food isn't helping, and really trying to get myself back into healthy living because I know it will dramatically improve my mental state. So I recently went through a time, it was like about a month. I am a food person. I like to eat, and I like to eat good food. By good, I mean mostly healthy, but, like, I hope it tastes good too. But I went through a whole phase where I couldn't eat. And I actually did a whole podcast episode, I think, about, it might be the Traumaversaries episode, which was just a couple weeks ago. And that's very stinky. I just talk about, like, how we go through these phases where we're not doing well mentally, and it can be very hard to take care of yourself. I didn't have an appetite for that whole time. And I would come on my Instagram stories and talk about, like, what I was doing to cope with that, because you have to eat, right? And so like I don't really like to eat out, but I would like 2 times I went and got Jamaican food and sat by the beach because that's one of my favorite foods. And it helped me eat that day. I was like, I know I'm gonna eat because I ain't wasting Jamaican food. And then having food made so that it wasn't like, oh, there's nothing to eat, I'm just not gonna eat. But for me, in terms of planning my meals and making sure I have food, is because I don't want to spend the money. And I'm not a very organized person, but if I know that I have to work, I will cook and I will make it happen because I don't want to spend the money. And also, like I do, like I said, I do like to eat healthy, so I want to have a little bit more control over. I don't know. And even like if you go to the grocery store and grab something from the grocery store, you know, like a lot of times I'll get a sushi, which like isn't the best sushi, but like even the grocery stores like kind of healthy options, like a pre-made salad or I don't know, they have other things and stuff. I don't like it. It's not that good to me. So to me, it's like wasting like, you know, $10 or whatever because it's not cheap. And so and I have some things in my cupboard that like I can just make something really, really quick or in the freezer that maybe it's not my favorite meal, but at least I know I can eat it and I'll have food at work. Because like I said, I have to have lunch and dinner because I'm gone from noon to late. So I'm not going to say exactly when because I don't know how many people are watching this that maybe don't need to know that information. I got to be honest, I'm in a major depresso mode tonight and I'm trying to use your potatoes to distract me. Here. Organic russet potatoes. These are my potatoes. They are going to be good, I hope. I heard it too. It was a car door. Sometimes people get out of their cars at night. Sometimes people get out of their cars at night. Okay, they're not coming to see us. Nobody's coming to our house because nobody knows where we live. Okay? Does that feel better? You say hi? She got a new haircut. And she's so beautiful. Pee pee. Hey. Go and sniff the door. Okay? Go and sniff the door. Hit. Literally no one is there. Come here. Come on. Here you go. Come on. Sit. I'll wait. I will wait. She's being stubborn. Sit. Good girl. Stay. It's not a sit. Sit. Shake it. Do you want to do a dance? Do you feel better now? Would you like to do a dance? Good girl. Dance. Oh, that was a twirl. All right, do you feel better now, Pippi? You can go check now. Nobody's there. I did not hear anyone outside. She. Yeah. You can never have too many potatoes. You know, I'm not really. I was raised on like meat and potatoes. I'm from Amish country. And I don't eat a lot of like white potatoes, actually any kind of potatoes anymore. I just don't usually buy them. But when I do, I always make like the kinds of potato-y meals that I had growing up. There's two. There's this one, and there's another one that's really weird, but I love it. Holidays are especially hard for people. I've been relying much more on meal prep and takeout. It is. It's hard. And people get sick. Like, people are getting really sick. So, like, for me, I got pho. On Thursday, and I got it today because I was nauseous. I was dizzy. I didn't feel good. I didn't want to make anything. I didn't feel like eating anything else. So, yeah, it's a hard time. What was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, if you struggle with the holidays, I have news for you, and I haven't let the cat out of the bag yet. the cat. I busted out. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Some of you have. I never use the word narcissist anymore. I have my reasons behind it. I'll share them if you want me to. Someone let me know. I'm not gonna share it if you don't want me to. But I had this series called Narc ASMR, and I made a holiday one. So I have that in my drafts, and it'll be fun. So I'm proud of you for eating no matter what it is. Yes, for sure. To everyone struggling. I have a little crocheted positive potato that I bought online. That's so cute. I don't know if Leanna's still in here, but my friend Leanna crochets, and she could probably make that. I appreciate the potato close-up. It was totally tubular. I love that. Please do. I am curious. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Okay, I will. Let me just make sure. My roommate wants to move out, so I guess I need to get used to living alone too. I will tell you this. So technically, I have a roommate, but she's not living here right now. So we moved into her apartment. She had a roommate. Her roommate moved out. And then I was living with my son's dad for a while because we needed to do that for a transition. Someone remind me to circle back to the word narcissist. I just wanted to make sure my other people weren't being left in the dust. And I needed to move out. I needed to be done. I needed to live in a place that made a little bit more sense for me. And so we moved in here, and she's not actually going to be here for a while. So I basically have the space to myself, which is really nice. And it's going to take me a while to like get used to having a roommate when she does come back in, because I'm like moving in here almost like it's my own space, right? But that's fine. She's really fun and love her. And she knows my kid really well, so it's all good. But I wanted to say that, like, living alone, like, I know it can be kind of scary sometimes. And, like, I'm actually really proud of myself because I've been feeling really, really good. I would not have been able to move and live alone when I first left my abuser. There's no way. I would have been so anxious. My kid would have been, like, really impacted by my CPTSD. And now I'm not really afraid. I feel great. So, but it takes time to get used to living alone. And like, whether it's because it's scary or hard or different or, oh, I forgot I had some leftover fluff. I'll have that tomorrow because I couldn't let these potatoes go to waste. So, but I think that living alone is actually a gift as long as you're not like really stressed financially or something, because you get to make your own choices. You can have things however you want. You don't have to worry about anyone else. There's no one else like making messes. You don't have to like respect, like if you have a roommate, you have to be respectful that this is their space too. Do you have an aloe plant? So these are all my roommates. This is a plant that I had that like almost died, and I need to plant it because its roots are in there, but I haven't done that yet. And that's why I have these pots right here, because I need to put them in there. This one's mine. This is my ZZ. She has an aloe up there, and it's a big, healthy one. I should show you the top of our fridge. We don't have a lot of space. Sorry, I'm going to move you guys if it's like too... but like, I have like, these are all mine, and then that's her aloe. But yeah, they're all just kind of, there's much steam. Okay, so let me get back to why I choose not to use the word narcissist. Narc ASMR is hilarious. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I've been wanting to make some of those. There you go. I don't know what it is. I've never seen one, but it sounds super fun. I'm just going to move you guys over here just because I don't want my phone to get... All right, well, you're upside down. I don't want my phone to get too sad by being blasted in the face by steam. Yes, I have lived alone for over 4 years now. That's fabulous. Absolutely. And eventually I will move into a place by myself, but this made so much, like, my roommate now doesn't have to pay the full rent by herself, and I have the house to myself for however many months, and I also don't have to pay for the whole thing, and so it's just a really great transition for me. Hold on one second. I'm really sorry. I do have to get this bacon going. For the bacon, do you want me to cut the bacon beforehand? I don't usually use recipes because it's usually in my head once I make it once or twice. Okay, cool. But I haven't done this one in like literally since I was pregnant. My son's about 6. And this is just a random recipe. So, oh no. I am actually really fun to hang out with because I'm very entertaining because of my brain. But if you're one of those people that can't stand randomness, I am not the one for you. Okay. Sushi is the best to me. I grew up in New Mexico, so I didn't have the experience until I moved to take care of my mom. I didn't either. I grew up very sheltered food-wise. Like I said, I'm from Amish Town, Indiana, and it was plain flavors. I never, like when we would eat beef, it was cooked to a rock. Oh, no offense, Mama. She won't watch this, but like it was so good. I love my mom's cooking, but I didn't know that there were other ways to eat meat. We never had chicken because my mom didn't like chicken, poultry. Oh, my nose is so itchy. And we never really used. Oh, you guys like that, huh? Get that humidity. Good job, my little jungle plants. Yep. See, follow along. I never really experienced like anything. I'm gonna say exotic, and by that I mean anything that's not a potato, like a vegetable or a piece of meat, right? And then all right, that's literally just fat. And then I started traveling and started living in other places, and I absolutely love any kind of like food that's not like home cooking. I do like the home cooking stuff. Like I just said, sometimes I'll get something, I'm like, I just need this home cooking food and I'll make it because I'm really far from my family. My mom doesn't eat that food anymore. My mom's like very cautious about what she eats. She doesn't eat meat. But I'll just like make myself something like that. But it's yeah, same. I love a good sushi. All right. Okay, let's talk about the word narcissist. I'm so sorry. I hope you're still in here, the person who was like, yes, I want to know. So when I first started talking about abuse, and I actually have been wanting to talk about this, like make a video or something about this. I use the word narcissist because that is what I found, and that is what fit the bill, which is true for so many of us, whether it's your parent or your sibling. You're looking at it, you're never going to get a diagnosis. That person is never going to go get seen, blah, blah, blah. And I should really write them out and again have a really concise answer where it's like reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. Reason 1, it's so overused that it's very frustrating to see people using the word narcissist when it does not apply. Not everyone is a narcissist. Not everyone is abusive. Not everyone is bad. Like, so you see people who have had a bad breakup and they're like, he was such a narcissist or she was such a narcissist. And it's like, well, were they? Or did you just have a bad breakup? Or did you just have a breakup? Or did you you're mad at them? And it's the same. We see it with, oh, I'm so depressed. Oh, I'm so OCD. Oh, I'm so ADHD. Well, are you really? Because what you're doing is you're taking away the power behind those words. People who have experienced abuse at the hands of a person with narcissistic personality disorder are having their experiences minimized because everyone is using that. Also, I started to see everybody making content saying, you're narc, this narc, that narc, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't want to be on this. I'm not going to make content using words just because it's the popular word to do now. Like it's like a viral word, and I don't like that. I want people to see. Okay, I want people to see my content. The people who need to see my content, but I use other words and hope that people find it. I use the words coercive controller, abuser, and things like that. I also think that we need to use the word coercive control, because that is what it is. And a lot of people, when we use the word narcissist, it also, like, even if that is actually what they are, it takes away, it waters down what they have done and what they're doing, because it is abuse. And so instead of saying like the abusive person or the coercive controller, we're saying narcissist. And most people think of a narcissist as just like a cocky asshole, right? And it's in the sense that we are talking about narcissists, they are abusive people. You heard what I said. I didn't say it the way that I was going to stop saying. in the way that we are talking, in the way that we are educating, in the way that we are sharing, the narcissist is doing horrible things. And so rather than being like, I see content like, did your narc do this? Or my narc did that. They're not a narc. They're an abuser. They're an abusive person. So does that make sense? I think I have more reasons, but I can't think of them right now. People don't always get the difference between narcissistic tendency versus someone who actually has narcissistic personality disorder. Yes, everyone has. Where's my other? Oh, no. Oh, it's stuck. Everyone has a little bit of narcissism. Well, maybe there are some people who have none. Like if you have no self-esteem and you're very just kind of like, I don't think my mom has any, to be honest. She's very self-conscious and but everyone does have a little bit of like, I'm gonna look out for me, I'm gonna like whatever. And if you look up the difference between healthy narcissism and like narcissism, you'll see there's a very real difference between a person who's like, nope, I'm gonna do that. And we don't usually use the word narcissism for healthy narcissism. It's more like, oh, this person is strong, this person has a great sense of self-esteem, this person looks out for themselves, all of the stuff like that. But absolutely. And a lot of people think that a narcissist, like I said, is like we all picture because we would see it in movies. Like if I say narcissist now, not so much, but you would think of the guy from Step Brothers, Derek, who's like total a-hole. And he's just like a rich a-hole. And he's like criticizing his wife and she hates him. And she wants to hook up with Dale. You know who I'm talking about. And that's a type of narcissist probably, but they should be two different terms, but like that's not what we have, right? So let's see, does anyone have any more questions or comments about that? Oh no, I quote that too. It's just really fun. I'm exhibiting squirrel energy and I apologize. Okay, hold on, I have to back up here. Watching this team is crazy. I actually really like it because it breaks up like when we do get into talking about abuse, which again, like that is partially what I'm here for. It breaks things up for me and we get to all have a little laugh. He wants to be BFFs with my cat, but she just had a recent trauma and needs more time. Wait, who wants to be BFFs with your cat? I think I missed something. Your cat had a trauma? Is this real? Say more. I'm not sure what to think about that because I'm not. It is real. Okay, say more because I don't think I have all the information. Remember that guy that made some off the wall comments about your cabinets? Yeah, this is would I pick this? No, but I picked this over the really nice cabinets at my ex-husband's. That was weird. Ex-husband's house. My ex-husband redid our cabinets. They were ugly AF when we bought that house. And after I moved out, he was probably really bored. And he did some work on the kitchen. And the kitchen in there is really nice. You all have seen it. It's really pretty. But I picked these cabinets over living with my ex-husband. And I would pick these any day. I'm all over the place too. Me too. Same. These lives are always chaos. It's part of hanging out with me. And yeah, salmon patties. I made those recently. Did I share that? I made salmon patties and creamed potatoes and peas, which I don't tell people that much because it is really weird food, but it's so good. I laughed harder than I should have, as always. I don't know what I made you laugh about because I've already been talking a long time. Man, I miss hanging out with you so much. I always loved your randomness. We had a lot of fun hanging out together, minus the roommate I had. Been struggling with that a lot recently in therapy. My therapist uses it a lot, but I feel it's nuanced. I use narcissistic traits more now than narcissist. Yeah. Also that shirt looks cozy. I'm jealous. I actually got two. I got a second one. They're on sale. I kind of regret getting the second one because, like I said, I don't like to buy things new. Because the second one I don't like as much. This one I love. I could wear it every day. It's very comfortable. I like the material. It's from REI. They might still have some. But when I got it, I was hoping that it would be a really good sweater and I could wear it for a long time and it would hold up better than like a crappy Target one. I don't know. Yeah, so struggling with that in therapy. And so that's another issue that we see in therapy is like, okay, how do I say this? Because I'm not anti-therapy, but I'm anti-not trauma-informed therapy. And a lot of therapists are not trauma-informed. And also like, you know, they pick up on these words too. and they generalize things, or they get things wrong, and it's just really important to not have that happen. So I'm glad that your therapist could be really good, but it's just kind of like, this is not my favorite thing. I'm glad that you're aware of that. Narcissist is more trying to box in the abuser than talking about your own experience healing. Getting stuck back into the cycle of abuse, trying to rationalize it versus actually healing is how I understood that. Okay, let me add to that, because I think I agree with you. I definitely don't not agree. I'm trying to think my thoughts here. So when we do that, because again, these people might all 100% be narcissists. They may also be psychopaths or sociopaths or something else. They're all abusive, though, so we can all agree on that they're abusive. Do they all have very similar tactics and, ways they treat people and everything like that? Absolutely. So we can still talk about the behaviors and people can recognize the behaviors. But what happens when if I say, so a narcissist may do this or a narcissist may do that, you can still go and do what I did, which is when I Googled what, their behavior and the word narcissist came up, I read the thing and I convinced myself over and over and over that person wasn't a narcissist. And I'm like, well, they can't be a narcissist. It's just this, it's just that, whatever. But when you understand what abuse is and what it looks like and how it affects you, you can't really argue. It's abuse. The person is abusing you. They're an abusive person, right? And then I also think that society as a whole doesn't agree with the word narcissist. You have a lot of people who will defend people with NPD because they'll say it's a personality disorder, it's a mental health issue, it's not their fault. It is not their fault at all. However, they still cannot be treating people this way, and we still need to educate each other on what this looks like and get people out of these situations, right? But when we stand here and we talk about narcissists, people will say that you're a liar, that you're dramatic, that you're making up, blah, blah, blah. And they'll do it no matter what term you use, whether you say coercive control, whether you say abuser, doesn't matter. They'll tell you you're lying. But if you use the word narcissist because it's a buzzword, they're going to tell you that, oh, you saw that on TikTok and now you're trying to say everyone you ever dated is a narcissist, blah, blah, blah. So it's a problematic term at this point, even though it's a real thing. And a lot of people are narcissists, have NPD, and are abusing people. My father has narcissistic personality disorder, and the big sign is he's 100% incapable of acknowledging any wrongdoing. Realizing their abuse can make them snap. Son's dad is an addict, and it comes with narcissistic tendency, but he does love to his capability. That's really hard, yeah. I also dated someone with borderline personality disorder, and that fucked me all up. Yes, it can. There's not a drug solution, but real CBT can work for people with NPD. Yeah, minus the roommate. Yeah. WaffleNet, my favorite. Do you watch Dr. Romany? I love her channel for narcissistic abuse. I do not watch any content about abuse anymore, and I haven't for about a year. Before I left and when I was leaving, I watched it all the time. I watched a lot of things, and I listened to podcasts, and then I started creating my own, and I started doing my healing. And now I still talk about it because I think that my story is important in the sense of helping other people see their story and mine. But I don't watch any abuse content because I'm going to say that I don't need it anymore, but I don't need it anymore. I don't want it. Like I said, I'm happy to talk about it, but I don't want to listen to it or hear about it, or like I swipe a lot when abuse content comes up. Not always, because maybe I'm like, oh, I should, do at this person or, help further their message, or maybe I'll do like a response of some sort to help add to their information or support or whatever. But I don't want it. I just listen to history podcasts and audiobooks all the time, and that makes me happy. And so that's everyone in my comments who are victim shamers and oh, you ever talk about abuse? It is 0.05% of my day. Because I don't does it come up? Sure. But I don't unless I'm intentionally on here like this, I don't. But I do think that Dr. Romany is a really good resource. I never watched her stuff in my healing. I had other people that I was watching. I'm not going to say who, but the person that one of them was Lisa Sunny. I will say that, from Stronger Than Before. she, like, when I figured out what a trauma bond was and I found her content really helped me. And then there was another one that really helped me because that person was very similar to my abuser. And so listening to that person talk was like, fudge, that helps a lot. Have you seen the YouTube film Your Reality? I have not. Yep, like what they are doesn't change the damage done. Exactly. And so that was what I was trying to say, is that a lot of people will get caught up on the label or the diagnosis. Like, does this sound like a narcissist to you? Do you think this person's a narcissist? Which I'm never going to say yes or no, but I will say it sounds like what you're describing to me sounds like abuse. And here are some resources to help you figure it out. You look at this, be really honest with yourself. Is abuse happening? Yes or no? But a lot of people will get caught up on that. And like I did too, because you just feel like, is this the answer to all my problems? And the actual answer is, what behaviors are they doing? Are you being abused? Or do you feel like a piece of shit? Do you feel like shit? Are you having mental problems? Are you having physical problems? Are you isolated? Did you lose all your friends? Did you lose your job? Do you have no money? Blah, 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 right? That's what's important. Their label of their whatever does not matter. They can live with it. They're going to live with it for the rest of their life. They're going to hurt more people. That sucks. We hate that. But their label is their problem. I'm going to head out. You'll have a lovely night. You do. Because you do your own content without feeding off of others' content, I feel like it's so genuine, and I've learned so much to apply to helping my kiddo. Oh, thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. Yeah, I do. And I also I know this is really cliche, especially for like white women. Like, we're all out here like, I'm so unique. Like, I don't know, like you see people making fun of, I don't know, it's not necessarily about race or gender or anything, but you always hear people being like, oh, you're not, you know, like, we're out here just like, I don't like that kind, I don't like that, like, I don't like Taylor Swift because I only listen to like indie art. Like, we're all just all out here like, I don't go to Barcelona because I only go to like the small coastal towns because I'm a Spaniard. Like, we're all just like really, you know, whatever. I do that, the Spain one. Taylor Swift is fine. I'm not a Swiftie, but like, she's amazing. But I was giving examples. And what I'm saying was, I don't want to be like anyone else. I want to just come here. I mean, like, I do trending stuff sometimes, but I just want to show up, and whatever wants to come out, comes out. And that's what I share. And I don't make money off my content, really. Like, my podcast makes a little bit, like, enough to get like a coffee or a couple coffees maybe a month. And I don't like have a big production team. My podcast is really low quality, but like, I just want to share authentically and never want to feel like it's a job or like I have to do it a certain way, because that's not me and that doesn't feel authentic. It's so nice to see your growth from an outsider perspective in your healing process. Thank you so much. That does feel really nice. Cause like I see so much healing in myself. Like, I love being alone now. I really, really miss my son when he's not here, but I cherish my alone time. And for so many years of my life, I just felt really lonely when I was alone, which I think is true for a lot of people, because we all have childhood trauma. We all have, you know, emotional abuse and neglect and abandonment wounds and all those wounds and everything like that. And we don't like to be alone. And so a lot of us will fill that time with someone who we really don't want to spend time with and things like that. And like, I've spent so much of my time around people who didn't deserve my time, not because I'm like the queen or anything, but I just love being alone. And I was just thinking about that because a lot of times when I'm alone, I don't go live anymore, because I used to go live a lot when I was with my abuser, because if I was alone, I didn't actually want to be alone because that was really scary for me. Not because I was like, I can't be alone, but if I was alone with my thoughts about the abuse, you understand what I'm saying? So I went live a lot. And now I'm like, I actually just want to do a puzzle by myself or listen to my audiobook. And like, not because I'm self-isolating, but my time is so precious. And that's a huge growth. But then there's also the Lindsay that like is silly and likes to connect with people and do all that stuff. that wasn't there before. So it is also really nice to see people like seeing my growth and change, because I don't recognize that old Lindsay when I see those videos of me, with my abuser in the video, or just from when I was with my abuser. Like when I would record TikToks, I'm like, oh, he looks so sad and tired and old and worn out. Are you more mindful when you meet new people? I'm still very careful when meeting new people. I don't actually care to meet new people. I'm very stingy about, like I just said, like who I spend my time with. I have solidly 2 friends. Like I have more friends. If you're in here, you're my friend, you count. But I can't hang out with you. You're not coming to my house. I'm not coming to yours because I have to fly to you. But I would. But like I don't really care to meet new friends because I have my son, I have my job, I have hobbies. I like to be alone when I can. And I just have 2 really safe, awesome friends. Actually 3, because my one friend's husband is also my friend, and I love him and I'm thankful for him, because I don't feel that way about a lot of dudes. Like a lot of people, like I wouldn't really want to hang out with their husband, because I've had a lot of friends who their husbands just suck, and that's just a waste of my time. I don't want to do that. Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna suck. So yeah, I don't really care to meet new people, and if I am gonna meet a new person, I'm just like, you're gonna have to have like 500 chances for me to actually want to spend time with you, because I just don't want to. All right, you chill there for a second. I need to see my next step. Okay, potatoes are cooking. Don't discard the hot bacon grease. Going in your dressing with the vinegar, mustard, and sugar. I don't have mustard. That's okay. All that bacon grease, though, that's like 400 gallons of bacon grease. I'm fine with that. Where does the apple cider vinegar come in, friends? Oh, there it is. Okay. Cool. It's been a sec since I've been in a live of yours, but there's even less tension in your shoulders. Thank you. That was actually one of my biggest physical complaints. When I was with my abuser, I had it was x-rayed. They did my head, they did my whole spine, they did everything. And I had a muscle spasm in this poor little trap for over a year. And it was huge, and it was hard, and it was horrible, and it caused pain all down my right side. And every once in a while I have a flare up, because my body, like I do have like autoimmune issues now, but we're good. But yeah, for so long I was just like ready to either run away or fight you, or I don't know. Will you ever come back to Indiana? I will visit my family, absolutely, but I don't think I would ever live there unless, I don't know what would make me want to live in Indiana again. I do wish my son wasn't so far away from his cousins, because he loves his cousins and my mom very, very much. And when we do go home, we usually go for if we go not during the summer, I usually go for 2 weeks. But when we go home in the summer, we usually stay for about a month. And I just stay with my family and hang out with them so that he can be with his cousins. You have the audacity to live so far away. I know. Autoimmune and trauma go hand in hand. Yep. It's very common for survivors of abuse, childhood trauma, all that, to be struggling physically. Come on, bacon. I'm hungry. I am getting hungry. This is going to be awesome. I will say this. When this is done, I'm going to leave you, because I want to just eat in peace by myself and do a puzzle. See? Have you ever been to Bloomington, Indiana, IU College? Yes. My stupid high school boyfriend, who was a total dick, went to IU, and I went down to see him one time, and it was so dumb. No offense, IU. But yeah, you look great and seem to feel much more comfortable taking up your own space. Love it. Thank you. Thank you for noticing that. Oops, I don't know why I sent an invite to somebody, but I didn't mean to. You and I have so much in common. I got out of 8 years of abuse. Last 2 years was the worst. I got rid of her, looked around, and moved away. I'm sorry that you went through that. It's pretty nasty stuff. Damn it. They want me to put all of that bacon grease in the pot? I find that appalling. This isn't the freaking 1930s, you guys. Like my great grandma would just like cook with lard all the time. You know, they just like used every piece of everything they had. But like, why are recipes online so ridiculous? My Oma and other relatives in Germany make traditional Swabian potato salad common to the Stuttgart area. If you want authentic, that is the one. Just don't put it down the, yeah, for sure. Don't put it down the drain. I will not, but it's going to be interesting because I'm going to have to pour some of it in there and then just let the rest of it sit there. I don't like this. This doesn't tell me the exact measurements. Hot or cold? Hot. Let's be real. A hot German potato salad needs to be hot. Okay, there we go. 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar. I love apple cider vinegar. Oh, forgot about my drink. See? My little brain. Once there's more than like 2 things in my vision, we're lost. Hey, Lisa, how's it going? It's better now. I live on Maui and managed to find lots of healing. I love that. Maui sounds like a great place to be healing. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks for letting us share. No problem. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys, I do have the monthly support group, and it was supposed to be today, but I forgot to tell people about it. And we ended up not having enough people for the first time ever. But it worked out because one of our people had sort of a family issue going on, and I need some more time to tell people. So if you want to join, it's going to be next week, next Sunday, and space is limited. But it's super affordable. The group's been great. People seem to be getting a lot out of it. So if you're thinking about joining or want to spend more time, like sort of getting to know me in the coaching arena, like what I'm like in that space, it's definitely a great way to have that happen. Okay, the bacon's almost done. It's looking good. It's looking real good. Block user. I completely forgot about this month. To be honest, so did I. And then someone signed up this morning and I was like, ooh. This morning I was running errands and I was like, oh, it's a week away. I don't know why I was thinking it was the 8th. Maybe last week it was on the 8th. Because I think the next Sunday is the 10th. But my head was like, oh, it's the 8th. And I was like, oh, I have a week. I need to start reminding people that we have this. Because usually we get almost a full crew. And then someone else signed up. And then someone else messaged me and was like, what time are we doing today? Because I don't think I can make it. And I was like, today. That doesn't usually happen. Sometimes it slips my mind a little bit, but then I remember. But I just forgot. But I think it'll be better next week. It's never good to try to force something to happen. But I thought about just skipping December because it is such a chaotic time for people, and next week is going to be like even more dangerous because like once you're getting to the holidays, people don't really have time to sit down and do a workshop or go to a, you know what I mean? Like there's so much going on. But also, I think we kind of talked about it at the end of one of the sessions, and I was like, do you guys want this? And everybody was like, yeah, because like we talked about when we first started, the holidays can be really, really rough. And sometimes we just need that support. We need someone to hang out with. We need, especially if you still have abusive people around you, toxic people around you, it can be nice to just sit in a room with other people who are trying to survive these situations and get through the holidays. Because, the holidays aren't for most people what we see on Instagram, right? I mean, I do think there are some people who have a really great holiday. Probably the people who have the best holidays are the people who probably have really small gatherings with just their like immediate family or people who they're really close with and feel comfortable with. And it's kind of low key, to be honest. But also sometimes holidays is when they need it the most. Exactly. I salute your bravery in healing out loud. It was the hardest decision I had to make, but I will never go back. Be open, be vulnerable. And I think that's how we ultimately get revenge on the abusers. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't like to use that word revenge because, like, I ain't wasting my time on that. And, like, I know that's not what you meant. But, like, you do have people who are like, oh, I just, like, it's not fair and, like, karma and blah, blah, blah. But, like, absolutely, like, getting to a point where you don't give a shit about them and what they do is so cool because there was a time that we didn't think we could live without them because they told us that we couldn't. Speaking of, one of my upcoming podcast episodes, it might be this next week, is about using helplessness to control you, your helplessness. And I don't know if I want to add sugar to this either. Using your helplessness to make it so that you will stay with them because you don't know how to take care of yourself and you don't know, you can't, you need me. How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? You need me for X, Y, Z. So stay tuned for that episode if that's something that you feel like would benefit you because that's nasty. It's a horrible thing to do to somebody. One thing that really helped me was like I think I say this in the podcast, so I'm gonna kind of give away, like you're not even gonna need to listen to it anymore. But again, it's not like I make money off of it. It's not like I'm gonna be like, oh no, I'm gonna lose my $10 million if I tell you the secret to what's in the podcast. But one of the things that really helped me is I remembered who I was because my abuser from day one was conditioning me to sort of like depend on them for everything, for like help cleaning and help with my son and help this and help that. And all of a sudden, like near the end, I was like, what the fuck? Do you know how much I did by myself to take care of my own child? And I kept 3 dogs. Well, eventually something happened and I didn't have 3 dogs anymore, but it's not really anything that I did wrong. But I didn't keep the house clean all the time, but I took care of everything. Bills were paid. Everything was taken care of. Everyone was fed. Everyone was loved. It wasn't like I was, like emotionally, I was unwell because I was going through a lot. And they got me at my lowest. I mean, I was like rock bottom sad because I had just gone through something really traumatic. But I just all of a sudden was like, what the hell? I was married, but I did so much on my own. I traveled on my own. I lived alone for long periods of time because my son's dad was in the military, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why all of a sudden I can't live without this person? This is disgusting. Something is wrong here. And so those kinds of realizations really helped me to be able to start working my way out. I think I really needed that Dijon mustard, and I don't have any. I did not get any because I don't usually put that in there. This might be a weird recipe. We're going to find out. It's going to be... That's right. Oh, that's okay. It's going to be good. Oh, that's so vinegary. It's going to be so good. All right. We're done. I'm going to eat. Let me see. Anything else last minute here? That's the part that makes me crazy is you make me reliant on you so that you can torture me. Absolutely. And you can't figure out that that's what's happening until usually till the end when you start to like get information and it starts to really sink in, or after you leave when your nervous system calms down a little bit and you start to like the puzzle pieces start to fall into your lap that were hidden from you, and you start to put together the puzzle piece and you're like, this was abuse, holy shit. And you start to realize like, I don't often say how severe the abuse, what all abuse is bad, but even I will minimize the abuse because it's so hard to comprehend that someone can treat someone that way, let alone like your dog, a child, all that stuff. So I will minimize it. And it's very hard to like look at the big picture and be like, that was very, very bad. But absolutely, those puzzle pieces are so important. And being able to like I said, I often will not be like, this is the whole puzzle piece, because that's a lot. Even now, 2 years later, I'm like, I'm just gonna look at this one puzzle piece and I'm gonna talk about it right now. Not because I'm like, oh, I'm hiding it or I'm brushing it aside or I can't handle it. Like, I can talk about it, but it's just a lot. It's a lot to sit with. It's a lot to think about. And also, it's on them. You know what I'm saying? It's on them. They did this. They all did this. Oh, it's that kind. And yeah, we're over it. And we're out here and we're going to help each other. And we're going to get through together. When I realized it all about broke me, same. It's so heavy. It is so heavy and scary and sad. And there's a lot of fallout that comes with the knowledge and acceptance of how bad it was. It's devastating. And it's also very empowering because you can't deny it anymore. Not that it's your fault that you're denying it. You know you got to get away. You have to get away. You have to break contact with them. You have to start healing. Like all of these things, which is very daunting, come up. So it's simultaneously devastating and empowering. Yeah, once you know, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. So, okay, I'm going to go eat my dinner. Thanks for hanging out with me. As always, awesome live. I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me and asking questions and chiming in and sharing, because you never know what you're going to share or spark me to share that someone else in here needed tonight, or someone who's watching it later. So thanks for hanging out. I'll see you all later. Have a good night. Go drink some water.